Hi all. Okay, so this is a quick update on Ross, on my husband, how he's getting on, because a lot of you are asking me now, and I just wanted to sort of explain where we're at. So he had surgery, you probably know more than me, over a month ago, and he recovered really quickly, remarkably quickly. He was out within 5 days, and he got back to normal really quick. And I think largely I put this down to coming off steroids really quickly. The first time round, he was on a really high dose of steroids for quite a while. Steroids is often used to reduce the swelling, but it really affected his personality because it right raises testosterone, and it can give you that intensity, like not so much an aggression as such, but he had a really intense, it was really hard work to be around, and it was bloated from and constantly hungry. In fact, my memories of the first time round are of me like madly peeling pistachio nuts because he was into them, and like ravenous all the time, like all the so it's a bit weird memory, but I didn't have to do that this time. He really sort of went back to normal really quickly, which was nice for the girls as well, because we didn't know what to expect on the personality front. Like, you don't when you go into somebody's head. The scar again, that just, and I guess it's because there was already a scar there, although it's come down further on one side, it just seems normal, and it's healed really, really quickly. It doesn't seem that weird. He's been a little bit tired, but nothing unusual. He's had a couple of seizures, small mini seizures. So these seizures sort of come across as almost like being really drunk all of a sudden, and sort of his mouth droops on one side. It looks a little bit like a stroke symptom, and he slurs. It's not very nice for me. He kind of doesn't really remember them much, so it's fine. He doesn't really see what it's like, and it's often hard to spot them because he's such a joker that sometimes I can't tell whether he's just taking the mick. It's hard. I'm like, are you having a seizure, or are you just taking the piss? And he's like, I'm fine, just taking the piss. But it is sometimes hard to tell in the initial stages. One of them that he had was a bit disconcerting in that he couldn't speak properly. So that was new. When a new thing happens that's unusual, it's quite frightening, certainly for the other people watching. So in this case, me. He was trying to get words out, and just nonsense was coming out. So he was slurring a bit, and it was the giddy sort of seizure, that sort of drunk looking seizure. And then he was trying to say, like, I'm going to bed, and it would be like dog, cat, wolf, house. And I could see really quickly that he knew he wasn't saying the right thing, which was quite frightening for him, because in his mind he was thinking, something's gone in my brain, like I'm not going to be able to speak again. It was really weird because it lasted about 45 minutes to an hour. The funny thing with it was that he picked up his phone in the middle of it, and I'm like, okay, what's he trying to say? And he's communicating through the phone, and he wrote something in it, and I read it, and it said monthly pylon in Google, and I was like, oh god, like his mind's gone. What the hell does monthly pylon mean? And then I realised he was Google searching and went onto YouTube to find Monty Python's Life of Brian, where there's a character in it who has like a stutter and can't speak. And he was saying, that's me. That's what I sound like. And I was laughing afterwards because, like, I don't think there's many people that during a seizure are searching for Monty Python. It's so English, so British. It's like the most British thing ever. So he's had a couple of them, but nothing major. And we went in to discuss next steps with his oncologist in Birmingham, and he has been given the option to do chemotherapy at home. So he's currently doing chemotherapy tablets, and although they'll be the dose will be increased next week, he's been absolutely fine with this. Itchy skin a little bit, which he had last time, but nothing too drastic. Little bit tired, but then again, it's hard to say. We stay up really late anyway, so it's hard to know whether that's just that. But overall, he's been incredible, and he will actively say he's felt worse with the flu. So, if you are currently about to going through this, do not let another living person tell you that it's going to be horrendous. The treatment's got to be horrendous, because it doesn't. It just doesn't. And I often think that if you don't know the symptoms that you're supposed to have, which Ross doesn't know, then you just don't have them. So focus your mind on something else, just live. And that's what we've been doing. So overall, you know, everything's been really good. Genuinely, it's a weird feeling because it goes back to normal very quickly and it's very easy to forget. And I suppose it's a good thing, but to forget the severity of everything. The girls have, you know, they've asked questions, and we've been reading our book Nurse Ted from the Brain Tumour charity, and they'll ask questions now and then, and you know, they understand a very limited amount, and that's fine. And they'll ask questions and come to me when they need to, and that's perfectly fine. We've had an incredible amount of support. I think there's going to be a few more stories coming up over the coming weeks in press, which I will let you know about, and I'm sure you guys will share them on social media and things like that. And yeah, thank you so much for your support. That's pretty much it. We will still do radiotherapy, we think, but we're trying to prolong, you know, keep that as long as possible from the first time he had radiotherapy. But all is good. We're all doing good. Ross is doing amazing. He's ridiculous. I just have to watch him trying to do DIY and stuff constantly. But yeah, we're all good. And yeah, that's it. I haven't got anything more to say. There's not really a lot to report, guys, which is a good thing, hey? I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.